In Ohio, where the housing market has been struggling mightily since the onset of the economic downturn, the loss of the mortgage interest deduction would be devastating, and a de facto tax increase on homeowners. Equally troubling is the possible qualified residential mortgage rule that will require most borrowers to come up with a 20% down payment. Ohio's average sale price so far this year is $128,535, meaning that would-be buyer would need to bring nearly $26,000 to the closing table to meet these standards. These proposals may be well-intentioned, but from the standpoint of Ohio's realtor community, they are misguided. On behalf of the millions of current and future homeowners, realtors are committed to keeping the dream of home ownership a reality and urge our elected leaders to support policies that encourage and protect the American dream. Thank you again for being with us. At this time, I would like to introduce Steve Brown, who will be the first Vice President of the National Association of Realtors next year. Steve, who is a fellow Buckeye from Dayton, will serve as president of our 1 million member national organization in 2014. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, when I began in the real estate business some 35 years ago in Dayton, I never imagined I would have to defend the benefits of home ownership in Washington, D.C., or let alone in Columbus, Ohio. The goal of property ownership is justly called the American dream. It is one of those things that made and makes this country great. But make no mistake, the ability to own a home in America is under attack. Those of us in the real estate industry know better than anyone else that these are tough economic times. But issues like mortgage interest deduction, foreclosures and short sales, affordable financing and available credit don't just affect people who own homes. Home ownership shapes our communities and strengthens our nation's economy. One doesn't recover by abandoning one's dream, nor by attacking the investment of over 75 million families in America, nor by savaging an industry that sustains 2.5 million jobs. We believe the mortgage interest deductibility is vital to the stability of the American housing market in our economy. It is absolutely ridiculous to say that MID is suddenly a part of a deficit problem. MID has been a part of our federal tax code for the last 100 years. Why? Because our country's forefathers knew the benefits of home ownership and incentivized our public to buy their own home. Reducing or eliminating MID is a de facto tax increase on homeowners who already pay 80 to 90% of our U.S. federal income tax. The Department of HUD, Housing and Urban Development, are also considering a rule, as Meg mentioned, that would require buyers to come up with a 20% down payment. It would take the average American 14 years to save enough money for a 20% down payment.
For Americans, homeownership is the single best long-term investment and a primary source of wealth building and a primary source of financial security. Countless generations of Americans have depended on their homes for their children's education, their own retirement, and a personal sense of well-being. Yet a home is so much more than just an investment. In good times and in bad, the opportunity to own a home has been a cherished ideal and a source of pride, accomplishment, social stability, and peace of mind.
Over the years, we've enhanced our programs with our products and special incentives for Ohio heroes, such as active military, police officers, teachers, firefighters, and healthcare workers. We've added a benefit for recent graduates of Ohio colleges and universities, and we've made it more possible for home builders working with lenders to participate in the program. All of our mortgage products are fully underwritten, fixed-rate mortgages that meet the high standards of the regulated secondary market. And this
I stand here not only very proud to be your superintendent once again, but also a homeowner. As most of you know, the Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing regulates the education, licensure, and enforcement of nearly 33,000 active real estate brokers and salespeople all across Ohio, most of whom are member realtors. I know from firsthand experience that a majority of you go above and beyond the licensing requirements that the state of Ohio imposes, including adhering to a professional canon of ethics, to educate, inform, and guide potential and current homeowners and sellers in their pursuit of the dream of home ownership. Today and every day, I commend the Realtor Associations and their members on their enduring commitment and ongoing efforts to shine the bright light on the positive attributes of home ownership here in the Buckeye State and across the nation. These efforts...
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come down here to help fellow Ohioans and Americans get educated on this issue. In addition, I think some thanks needs to go to you for what you guys do every day, and that is enabling people to become and live the American dream by being their realtor and letting them get a part of that. As a homeowner, this means an awful lot to me. I see this in my practice as a lawyer. But more importantly, I guess I hold a very special place in my heart for realtors as well as your issues. You see, I love you guys so much, I'm married a realtor. So I have an advocate at home, and it isn't that bad. When I go to my family functions, my father-in-law is a realtor. All kidding aside, seriously, thank you guys for coming out. Home ownership is so important to the fabric of our American dream. I think it's great that you have this beautiful bus here that you'll be touring around to bring the message to everybody so they can see it. Because together, we can accomplish this. And I stand with you on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And now, Ohio Senator Charlita Tavares.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming to Columbus, Ohio for your conference. You are right in the middle of my Senate district, so thank you for being here. But more importantly, I want to thank all of you for raising the issue, not only with state legislators, but also our federal government on the importance of homeownership and the important work that you're doing as realtors throughout this state and throughout the nation. You've got state advocates who are going to be working with you to make sure that we maintain the mortgage interest deduction and that we don't raise that 20% or to raise to 20% the amount of money that home buyers will need in order to purchase a home. That's critical if we want to maintain the American dream. I want us all to waken the sleeping giant. The sleeping giant are the people like me and you who own homes that need that deduction each and every year on their federal taxes.
Thank you. I am the Realtor Party. I want you to know that. And with Ted Celeste, you have a realtor in the house. I've been in the real estate business for over 30 years, both in terms of being a realtor on the side of sales. I've also been in development. I understand the importance of home ownership, not only to the individuals who are pursuing that home ownership, but to the economy. And today we're faced with a very difficult economy, and the economy is going to be tremendously impacted once we rejuvenate the housing business, and we cannot let any tampering with the existing laws make that difference. So know that you have a number of friends and a number of colleagues who are going to protect that interest, and I'm so happy that you're all here today. Thank you very much.
But home ownership is the American dream. That's all there is to it. And
the other thing that I think is so important, that you are here to make your voices heard, because that is what you need to do, whether it be at the state level or the federal level, and I think the federal level is especially important right now. But so I want to make sure that you made your voices heard. So I decided we should have a cheer. So that's making your voice heard. Yay, home ownership. Yay, home ownership. Yay, home ownership. Yay, home ownership. Okay, now you can say you have been at the State House, that you have made your voices heard, but you're going to have to do it again and again and again. These battles, unfortunately, are not short, and I know how you've been here now, I think for several days, I've heard. So again, you are so important to this economy, and that's how we're really going to jumpstart it, if we can get those first-time home buyers buying homes, because if we get that to happen, everything else will flow from there. So again, thank you, and continue to let your voices be heard.
The good news is I believe I'm the last public official, so we're in the home stretch. As mentioned, I'm State Representative Michael Stenziano. I represent the 25th House District. It's a very diverse district. It's got some of the highest home ownership rates in the county. It also has a lot of vacancies. My point of view, that hasn't been mentioned, and my colleagues have spoken very well on this issue, is I was a boomerang Ohioan. I was born and raised in Central Ohio. I left. When my wife and I were looking at where would be the best place to work and live, raise our family, it was to come back to Columbus because of the value we were going to get and where we could be first-time homeowners. So rather than staying in Washington, D.C. and getting a condo that looked like a closet, we're able to purchase a home down the street with a garage, with that fence, and have that American dream. You have many of my colleagues and I are here, stand ready to work with you, to do everything we can at the state level to ensure that home ownership continues. And we really do appreciate all you do, and don't hesitate to call on us and rely on us as a resource. Thank you all for being here.
That concludes our speakers, but I can't conclude the meeting without saying that this work that we're doing is not only good for our real estate industry. Most of us here today are realtors. This work that we're doing in defending one of the basic tenets of that American dream, home ownership, is important for not only our economy, but our very civilization as a country. This means more. We are a nation of homeowners. We are not a nation of renters. There's a big difference. As Tom Friedman said in an article in the New York Times, when's the last time you washed a rental car? We are building a country on the basis of owning it, protecting it, improving it, and passing it on to the next generation. Let's fight for that American dream. Thank you all for coming.
It's going there. I know, but would you want to go on that? No. What? Read all day.
Say hello.
Monday night tonight. That's a double header. I'm sure Meg has big screens. Meg. I'm tonight, Meg. Get my reports though. I'm very loyal.
The Cowboys and
I did one last week to make sure.
It's hard, and but Nikki, no matter what, it's this work is worth it, because when you're helping someone find a home, there's nothing that is more. Nothing gives me a more feeling of accomplishment than helping someone find that perfect place. I do think our industry is at a critical stage right now. I would like to think 3 years from now we would have moved beyond some of these threats to our industry, to homeownership in this country. I would like to think that those factors would be settled and put aside, so that it brings a sense of confidence in the consumer, to get back into the market. I think it's critical that the consumer realize, that our members realize, that selling and buying a home is a long-term investment in one's life. And someone asked me today, what are the incentives to buy? A reporter asked me today, what are the incentives to buy today? And I said, well, certainly there's incredibly good interest rates and a wonderful affordability, but the greatest incentive is to buy that home where you begin to build your life and your life memories, and to have that piece of the pie. And I think that's what makes America so wonderful and unique, is that everyone, not everyone is ready to buy, but hopefully in our country, everyone will have the opportunity to buy. And I would like to see our industry be able to support that opportunity for all Americans to be able to really, truly realize that American dream.